Hello, I'm Elgato, and I have a pretty weird dream in Minecraft, and that dream is to destroy an entire Minecraft desert. I know it's pretty weird by itself, but it is tangentially related to the topic of today's video, because I've recently decided that I want to encase my entire end in glass, as well as take advantage of the fact that there's just a huge void out there where you can see nothing, to do some really cool things with glass. But rather than just doing some big projects with a large amount of glass, why not use a very countable number of glass? And that number I decided would be 55,000. That is a huge amount of any block in Minecraft, let alone glass, because we're going to need to collect 55,000 blocks, which is going to take multiple enchanted shovels. Then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take those 55,000 blocks, smelt them up into glass, taking at least 7,000 individual bits of coal. Then on top of that, we're going to need to place all of it down, which I've calculated takes about 11 hours, assuming one glass block per second. So basically, it's going to be a big project, and I figured why not bring you along for the journey? It's going to be a huge one, but it's going to be one that I think will have some really fun results involving glass and the end, which I think is a fun project you might want to take, or at the very least just look at this video as an example of how you can slowly fade into insanity when embarking on big Minecraft projects. So I hope you do all enjoy this video. You can like it if you do like it or whatever, because again, these take a lot of time, but I think they're a lot of fun to kind of make up for, at least in my sense of having fun in survival. If you don't like playing solo survival, I know a lot of people consider this to be a version of hell, but that's, again, I guess that's the beauty of life, right? Anyway, so the first step is to use a lot of, shovels to take a lot of sand and then put them in a bunch of chests. And I feel like, just to show you how much 55,000 blocks is, in case you're like, wow, that's not even that many, like 55,000, that's like not as many as the, I don't know, views on this video, hopefully, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, or that's not as many as something that I have a lot of, there's, football stadiums bigger than that, or just insert example here. I feel like the best way to showcase this is by making a bunch of chests. So we're gonna, take all of this wood we have with us and just turn it all into, chests bit by bit. And the reason we're doing that, so we have 30 chests right here, and it's still not enough. All of these chests we have in our inventory, even if we fill all of them with sand, that's still not going to be quite enough because we need a lot of it. Because this right here is what it looks like when you have 32 chests assembled, which is the number of chests we're going to need today. In case you're curious as to what the maths is on that, because you might be, 27 is the number of stacks you get in a single chest. Obviously, you get 9 by 3 slots, and every slot can fit 64 sand, or a fully completed chest looks like this, and obviously holds 1,728 blocks, because 27 times 64. Don't worry, I don't know that maths off the top of my head, you can just see it on screen. So a fun clarification is that I actually have all of these chests full of sand already, which should take away about half my job when it comes to collecting sand. Because of all this desert I've destroyed, I've collected a lot of sand over time, but even this amount of sand, even the amount that should fill maybe just over half these chests, is still not going to equal 55,000 sand blocks, sadly. So it actually took surprisingly less time than I figured to get so many thousands of sand blocks. It took just under 2 hours in a live stream. You can watch it all if you want to. But long story short, it took just under 3 full shovels, but now I filled up every single one of these chests, except the very last one here, which has just 5 stacks short, and then it has an additional 24 blocks. But that means we have 55,000 sand blocks now, and now we have to take all of these 55,000 sand blocks, and we have to turn them into glass, which is actually going to be slightly more long-winded, because we need to use this entire furnace grid, or as much as we can, just kind of taking a stack of sand, just like this, and then throwing it in there into a furnace, and then turning it into glass. Oh, there's actually some glass here already, so that'll make things easier. So I've now smelted about 4.5 chests worth of glass. As you can see, I've got so much of it lying around, but knowing that we have all of the rest of these yet to smelt, and knowing that took a full hour to do, and it wasn't honestly the most fun hour of Minecraft I've played. It was a very slow drudge. It was just, it was a big old dredge, and I figured rather than doing a lot more of that, by the way, we have to keep on refueling the furnaces, which is also a hard thing to keep on top of, or we're wasting some of the lava we got. Rather than doing this continuously and keeping the high stress stuff going on, I feel like I'd rather just kind of go AFK for a bit and then have a big old automatic smelter. So that's what I've got going on right over here. As you can see, I've got 2 automatic smelters. It's quite a simple system. You have a chest going into a hopper, going into a furnace, going into another hopper, going into a chest, and then we get some glass on the other side. Oh, and also the buckets come out that side if we're going to use, lava buckets, for instance. Okay, so I've taken as many buckets as I can from all over the world. I filled them with lava from the giant lava pool, and yeah, now we can basically just sit here and wait for this chest to fill with glass, and it's gonna magically end up that way, which is kind of nice in my opinion. So yeah, now we just sit here, we wait, and every so often we empty the glass chests into the sand chests and replace them and so on and so forth. But yeah, this is a much easier method. It's sad I don't get the XP, and it's sad that, like, we're, automating things is kind of cool, and especially when you need to do this much. But it is also happy in that I'm not wasting hours of insane style life doing this slowly on the chest outside there. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours now, and although this is not the fastest smelter in the world, seriously, you sit here and every now and then it goes up by 1. It's something like a stack every 10 minutes. It's not a particularly fast system, but now we've filled up about a third of our chest with glass as opposed to, sand, which is, solid improvement. So yeah, the biggest limiting factor, honestly, because it would make, like, it's going to take about 3-4 days at this rate, and although I was considering building more auto furnaces, like, it would make so much sense, honestly, at this point, though, the biggest limiting factor is just, like, filling up these lava buckets. Once every 6 to 8 hours, I have to go back down to the big lava pit. I have to find a new one, and I have done that, but I go back down to the big lava pit, and I fill it up with this, and then I fill up this, and it's just that's the biggest part of the effort. So maybe over the next few days, I'll be refilling them about 10, 12 times, but after all those refills have been done, I should end up with an entirely finished bit of glass, and we can move on to phase 3 of the process. So it took 3 full real-life days, as well as a bunch of refueling trips to add more and more lava to the hoppers and to the furnaces. However, now we've turned all of the sand into glass. There is 2 chests filled with glass right here, and then all of these chests contain the rest of it, and we have now 55,000 blocks of individual glass. Interestingly enough, because this took, I think it was 550 lava buckets at least, you can also see how our initial source of lava is entirely drained. Remember, it was up to here with lava. My path was literally blocked by some lava. Now that's gone, you can see the cave where the lava used to be going all the way down through here, etc. But that was nowhere near enough lava. I needed to find more. And fortunately, just behind that lava, there was actually a big cave which found some more, which eventually led all the way to here. And all of this, again, up to here was filled with lava. Now it's all gone besides this one bit I keep here for posterity. But all of this used to be full of lava. Now it's not. This as well right here, you can see, like, basically most of the cave which had lava in is now gone, because it takes a lot of lava to smelt this much. Okay, so I've now filled all of the 32 chests with glass, which means we have 55,000 blocks of glass spread out over all of these chests. It's almost unbelievable to look at and to see. Again, it seems like, oh yeah, it's just 32 chests, but when it's something like this that took such an industrial scale, it is cool, at least for me, to see the end result and be like, yeah, that's a lot of glass there. So now the next step is to place it over the end, which is actually the longest part of this whole thing, if you'll believe it, even though it took all those days and all this desert to mine 55,000, and all those, days just to smelt it, it's going to take a lot longer to place it, which is where the next and fun part of the process comes in, which is, working out where we're doing that. But that's something we'll do over the next few days, and you'll see it, I guess, condensed in this video. That'll be kind of fun. So here comes Operation 55,000 blocks of glass. Hello, I'm Elgato, and welcome back to the live stream on the internet. Today I'm going to be doing the first, or really kind of the first part of a new part of a major project, because I have a lot of glass. And when I say a lot of glass, I mean about 55,000 blocks. That's going to come up important at some point in the future. But I'm working on a mega project which involves taking 55,000 blocks of glass, taking them from the overworld, or from a former desert where they used to belong, and I'm going to be taking them over with me to the end. Let's dive into this one. I'm also going to, so we'll kind of like hear it out by ear. Oh god, I may looked at Enderman already. So it's this really good sign of things to come, as you can tell. And again, so I did the back of the envelope math, and I need about 40,000. Oh wait, I did the back of the envelope math wrong. 200 by about 200. So let's hope the end is smaller than I assume. Otherwise, I am going to need more glass. And let's go back to the overworld, and let's pick up some more. Hopefully, we don't end up in the sky again. Don't be in the sky. Don't be in the sky. Don't be in the sky. And we're in the sky. This is just my respawn point now, apparently. Your brain can basically control your perception of time. How is this happening, by the way? Can I kill him? Oh, I can. This is useful, probably. It might have taken around about 3 hours. I streamed about 2 of those, and I did about an hour just now at 2 AM, because 2 AM is the perfect time to place a lot of glass in Minecraft. But as you can see, we've now covered the entire end, at least the top of it, in glass. It's taken about 15,000 just to cover the top, so the sides will probably take another, 5 or 10,000, and then we'll decide from there if we want to do the bottom, because honestly, it might not make sense. We'll have to kind of weigh that up when we get there, but the sides are going to be so much slower. It's going to be, less glass, which is nice, but the sides are a lot slower, because doing stuff like this, it's not easy. I mean, like, you can just imagine this. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of a tricky one to get anything done here, and, the bottom's even worse than that, so we'll see how we do this one. But yeah, this is going to be kind of hellish, actually, but hopefully it makes the end look even better and provides even less opportunities for Enderman to spawn, which I've still got to destroy more of this end. I might not end up doing it. But yeah, this is not counted as part of my end as far as I'm concerned. We're going to saw it off with a big pickaxe and then deal with it later. But yeah, certain end islands over there. Side of the end is my next big project, and it's going to take some days. So I'll get back to you when we've made some progress. So as it turns out, the project of coating all of the sides of the end has taken far longer than I ever would have expected. We're dozens of hours into this. I've spent so long just looking for exposed endstone and trying to cover it in glass right now. And yeah, it's pretty exhausting, but we've now done most of the sides. Again, big asterisks on that one, that there's a few bits that aren't done. And we're not going to do the underside either because of the fact that no one's going to ever see that. And because of the extreme effort, the glass we'd have to place and waste. And I'd rather save the last 15,000 or so because we've placed so much glass over so much time. I'd rather use these last 15,000 glass blocks to, one, work on the basis for what will eventually be an Enderman farm, because we've now got that pretty well sorted, and two, to make some fun pathways going out to the end. Right now, the only way out to the end islands is usually to take this or to fly 1,000 blocks. Wouldn't it be cool if we had a pathway made out of glass that could take you to each of the directions to the end islands? So yeah, I feel like that'd be a fun use for a lot more of this glass. So we're going to just start placing right here from, I guess, close to the center as we can. So yeah, we're going to have a bridge going from the 0 origin just all the way out towards the end, and we're going to do this on at least both sides, maybe all 4 sides, just as a nice extra way to get there. I think the glass pathway should look great, and it should be a good viewing opportunity to see the end covered in glass too. So yeah, we'll just make a nice long bridge. But I think having a really cool glass bridge going all the way across the end, from End Island on one side to End Island on the other, should be a pretty satisfying project when it's done. And just like that, roughly 1,000 blocks later, or a little bit under, you can see how the end islands start to appear into view. And in the gaps in between the main end and this, there is literally nothing, and I feel like there has to be a way to use that to our advantage, and obviously one of those ways is going to be an Enderman farm, but I feel like other things we can do are also possible, because having the glass pathway, there's just something fascinating looking about this. Like, just look at this, I'm running along non-stop glass. It's going to take me 800 blocks, so it's quite some run admittedly, but still, I want to use this for something, and it's cool to look at, if nothing else. So now I'm going the other direction from spawn. Again, same kind of angle, because then later on we can maybe like tunnel through the end or something. And something really interesting is happening that maybe will happen on your own end. It's worth giving it a try. But as I'm walking forwards, every chunk or so, you can see there's an end acid that I guess got, fired here by an end dragon at one point, and then got stuck somewhere in the void. And every time I go to the next chunk, it follows me there. Oh, that was close. I just fell off the edge because I ran out of glass, and I have 1 firework left after this, so maybe we should just go back in for now. It's really cool to see the end islands just fade in once you go after your bridge. So again, this bridge process is going to take some time, but I'll get back to you, and I'll show you what it looks like when we have all 4 directions done. Okay, so I finished another one of these bridges. It took just over 1,000 blocks this time, and I found a brand new little end city with this. So it turns out there's actually more side benefits to this, because again, every single end city that has an end ship attached will give you a brand new elytra. You also get the opportunity to get shulker shells, which is useful for the shulker boxes, which I obviously need to transport this much glass, and also you get some free potions, you get some free goodies, like maybe, I know, some diamond stuff. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, so diamonds, a smite 4 sword, literally just a bunch of diamonds, like 14 diamonds and a diamond helmet. It's good stuff, and it's a nice little bonus. So do you remember how earlier I said how there's very few places Endermen can spawn in the end now, so they kind of congregate in the few that they can? Well, just over here, before I place my torch, you can see just how many Endermen spawn on this tiny little island. Side note, by the way, we're now just about to hit the end island on the other side, which means we'll have finished all 4 directions from spawn, and we can work on the next part of this. However, we still have several thousand glass left over, which means we can now play around and do some extra fun stuff. So, for instance, to signify that there's going to be an Enderman farm that way, I think what would be great is if we go a few blocks off the end. Not many, but if we go a few off, and we maybe signify that. My plan to signify that is to make a giant glass Enderman over here, which is a plan that I feel like has only potential to go right? There's no way this can go horribly wrong. So as it turns out, it doesn't look as bad as I was expecting. It kind of looks like the Enderman's just curving his arms a little bit. But yeah, you can see where the Enderman's starting to form here. Now we just have to make sure the head looks okay, which is going to be hard in glass. But we'll give it our best shot, and we'll be good. Okay, and just like this, I believe we finished the Enderman. So there's one big mistake, I think, that we're probably going to have to rectify, and that is the eyes. I assumed we could just do them by leaving them blank. Yeah, you really just can't see the Enderman eyes at all, and even if you could see them, they're way too low down on the face and maybe not big enough. But for now, let's focus on what to do with the rest of our glass, because, as much as we might like it, there's a bunch of glass that needs to be used. And although I'm always working on these sides, I think there's a lot of work in a lot of places. Like, we look over here, you can see how like, oh yeah, it's nice, and then it gets less nice. This is a problem we obviously need to work on, at least a little bit, right? Like the parts that we're not going to be destroying need to be covered with more glass, like over there, etc, etc. This is something we can always be working on. Over there's a big stretch. But I think also we need to work out, so what are we going to do with the rest of this? And a simple answer could be covering up the end pillars, because I was going to wait till I got purple glass, but I think that would jar with the design of just making everything crystal clear and like see-through in this whitey kind of color. So I think what we'll just do instead is we'll cover up all of the pillars with glass. So although I seriously underestimated just how many thousand blocks of glass it would take, and the amount of time it was, I have now covered all of these towers in glass, and I really like the finished effect. I like the kind of, I think it looks a lot better this way than having poking out obsidian. Everything is covered in the glass on this end, even the towers. And the cool thing about this is because glass doesn't make a footprint on the map, we can also use our map just like this, and you can see it still looks kind of nice. So something I've always kind of wanted to make in Minecraft is some form of pyramid-like structure, but not like a regular pyramid, and I think making one out of glass in the end would be a really cool, almost Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 64-esque thing to do. So we're going to take this, which is one of the old end platforms, again I think for Minecraft console, and we're going to make it the base of this new kind of pyramid thing. We could also say it's like an Illuminati pyramid, and all of the glass we're using will probably make that look better, but still, we're making a giant pyramid here that's going to go maybe 20 blocks in each direction, and it's going to be a bizarre looking thing when we're done, I hope. So progress has been pretty good so far. Now you can actually start to really see the shape, I think. And yeah, we're going to just like finish up the sides, do a little pyramid at the top, and it should be a nice little, I'd say secret base, but it's not very secret when it's this big and close to the island. But again, it's going to be kind of my key thing where you can see like, yeah, there's a lot of glass here, not just covering everything, but also making a pyramid because reasons. So yeah. So we finished all of the sides now, and now we just work on the top. I haven't quite decided if I want the top of the pyramid to be its own separate room, or if we should just have like, oh yeah, it's the top of the pyramid. It's just a thing that makes the inside look roomier. So a fun fact I actually hope you don't know about me until this point is that I've never actually made a pyramid in Minecraft that's been perfectly like pointed on top, especially not a big pyramid. I always end up having to do like a double pointed one, but here, for the first time, we've made an actual pyramid with an actual top. Look how amazing that is. Except, you know, it'd be better if we didn't have a top, because that's revolutionary design right there. So yeah, no, now we're just gonna get rid of all the other blocks we've placed, and we've made, I think you'll find, a pyramid. Look at that. I actually really like the way this has turned out. I think the top is probably a bit too light. Like, I think we need to do more like connecting of the sides. But otherwise, things have gone pretty well, I would say. And here is after we have placed the last 3 chests of glass blocks. That's right, we have now placed 55,000, more or less, a little bit more, I think like 55,020 glass blocks in the end. And honestly, we didn't just place the glass blocks here, we did a lot more placing around the edge. I think this is a really cool project to have turned out. I think it's one of the most insanely sized ones we've had to do. You know, the fact that it took so many months is kind of a testament to that, but I really like the way the end is right now, and also the way the end is open for future expansion. You can see how eventually we can make an Enderman farm. You can see how eventually, once we remove these end islands, we'll have like this pure kind of like thing. Or maybe we could just use the end islands for something else. Make them cubes. We can shape these into whatever we want, and we've got this like end area to play with. We've got this huge thing that's going to be a base that we're using to store our shulker boxes and eventually all of our other chests. We've got all these cool things, and I love the way this end looks. It's different, it's unique, and honestly, it's a reminder that although most of the time in Minecraft, you want to mix up your blocks. You don't want to just purely build out of dirt or cobblestone, or even if you have a nice block like green concrete, it's not going to be enough to make everything out of. But I love when you have like this kind of when something gets bad a little bit, you know, it's like, okay, that's bad. When you go the whole next layer, you get to the layer where it goes so bad it's almost good again, and I like that about my end. You might not like it too, but again, most of the point here is just like, this is kind of cool, and also it leaves future expansion for future fun projects. So you can see right here, we're making maps which will eventually be pure white or pure green to make green screens or white screens or whatever else. It's really cool seeing all of this stuff around here, and even though we had to lose an axe, we had to lose like 5 or 6 stacks of scaffolding. It was fun, it was an adventure. This took a lot of time, but it's something I enjoyed doing. I hope you all enjoyed the ride. All of these clips came together from about 3 months or so. It was a super fun journey, and if you want to see more survival projects like this one, because I like this idea of like showing off a project in Minecraft that doesn't take a day, that isn't just like hop into creative, use the fill command or something, that instead is a huge survival project that takes place over a long period of time, because I look forward to doing more of these. The next one I'm considering, by the way, is working on making the pure white map or the pure green map, or maybe making a map that has like a toy cat face or something. there's lots of fun ideas I want to do within the end, because the end is this really fun dimension enough people don't play around with, and I'm going to recommend with today's video that you totally should, even if you don't cover it in glass, even if you just like alter it a little bit. The end is a fun, self-contained dimension that you should totally work with in your Minecraft world. So yeah, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope this inspired you to do one of these things, if not all of these things. And yeah, if you do, please do like either tweet it at me or post it on the subreddit, and I'd love to see you know, what sort of things come from your end explorations. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.